The baby never smiled at anyone, not at the nurses in the public hospital, not at the noisy neighbors who tickled her tiny feet, not even at her own exhausted mother. But the first time her dark eyes met the gaze of a cold, untouchable millionaire, something impossible happened. If I tell you that one single smile was enough to rip open years of buried secrets, will you stay with me until the end? Before we begin, tap like, follow this page, and tell us in the comments where in the world you're watching from. We love to know. The alarm went off before the sun. A harsh, broken sound in a cramped room that smelled of cheap soap, damp walls, and baby powder. Anna's hand shot out, silencing it. Her fingers brushed against her baby first, and her heart clenched. "Shh, my love," she whispered, voice rough from another sleepless night. "Mommy's here." The baby stared up at her, huge, serious eyes. No smile, never a smile. That hurt more than the hunger in Anna's stomach, more than the ache in her back. It pressed on her chest like a stone. What if something is wrong with her? What if it's my fault? She pressed her lips to the baby's warm forehead. The tiny body curled into her like she was home, even if home was a peeling ceiling and a window that didn't close right. "I'm sorry I can't give you more," Anna thought, jaw tight. "But I swear and I will scrub the whole world if I have to. You will not grow up feeling unwanted." She dressed quickly. Thin shirt, faded jeans, shoes that had learned every hole in the city's sidewalks. She wrapped the baby in a washed-out blanket with little stars printed on it. It used to be white. Now it was the color of tired. The hallway outside their door smelled like fried oil and despair. Somewhere, another baby cried. Not hers. Lily never cried much. Lily only watched, silent, alert, as if life had already taught her to be careful. Outside, the dawn was a bruise across the sky, purple, heavy. Cold wind sneaked under Anna's clothes, making her shiver. She held Lily closer and hurried to the bus stop. Each step whispered the same warning in her mind. Don't be late. Don't be late. Rich people don't like excuses. Anna thought of the place where she worked. No, not a place. A world apart. A glass mansion that sat high above the city, pretending the chaos below didn't exist. The mansion belonged to him, Ethan Morello. On TV, he was legend. Self-made millionaire. Genius investor. Heart of stone. In person, he was even colder. Anna had seen him only a few times. Always from afar. Dark suit. Measured steps. Eyes that scanned everything and attached to nothing, except that one afternoon. She remembered his gaze sticking for a second to the crib in the laundry room, the twitch in his jaw, the way he turned away fast, like he'd touched an open flame. He hates children, the driver had told her once, almost amused. If you want to keep your job, keep that baby far from his sight. Anna had nodded, fear burning in her throat. She needed that job. She needed diapers more than she needed pride. The bus arrived, rattling and already full. People pushed in. Anna turned her body into a shield around Lily. She could feel the looks on her. Pity, annoyance, judgment. "Another one," someone muttered. "Kids having kids." Anna kept her eyes on Lily's tiny face, expression serious, brow slightly furrowed, like she understood every cruel word. "Why don't you ever smile, my angel?" Anna wondered. Is the world that scary to you? Or am I? The bus climbed into the richer part of the city. The potholes disappeared. The buildings grew taller. Even the air smelled cleaner. High walls appeared. Perfect gardens. Windows that caught the early sun and threw it back like gold. Then the Morello mansion came into view behind iron gates. Imposing. Immaculate. Heartless. The security guard at the gate barely glanced at her. He already knew her face. He knew the stroller. He knew her place. "You're late," he said, even though her watch said otherwise. "Sorry," Anna answered automatically. "The bus, not my problem." He pressed the button. The gates opened with a slow, expensive sigh. Anna swallowed the rest of her words. Poor people didn't get to explain. They just got to endure. Inside, the marble floor shone like ice. Her worn soles squeaked softly, a small sound swallowed by a house built for silence. The air smelled of citrus cleaner and something delicate she couldn't name, something she had never had enough money to buy. She set Lily's makeshift crib in the laundry room, hidden between humming machines and shelves stacked with products she could never afford. "Stay here, okay?" Anna whispered. adjusting the blanket. I'm just down the hall. If anything happens, scream in my heart, like you always do. Lily blinked slowly. Calm, too calm. No smile, no cry. Anna's chest hurt with a love so fierce it scared her. She brushed one fingertip against the baby's cheek. It was soft, like fresh bread. Just once, she begged silently. Smile at me so I know I'm doing something right. Nothing. Anna pulled herself away, each step feeling like betrayal. Work waited. Bathrooms, floors, dishes, a never-ending list that kept her daughter alive. She started in the kitchen. The counters already gleamed, but she scrubbed them anyway. Rich houses liked things that looked cleaned twice. From the wide glass window, she could see the edge of the infinity pool, still and blue, hanging over the city like a secret. Down there, tiny and distant, was the world she came from. Noise, heat, chaos, life. Up here, everything was controlled, quiet, cold. On the balcony above the pool stood Ethan Morello. He wore a dark suit that fit him like it was afraid to disappoint him, one hand in his pocket, the other holding a phone he didn't want to answer. He answered anyway. Yes, he said, voice low, clipped. Ethan, the board wants you at the meeting tonight, a man said on the other side. They're getting nervous about your personal situation. Personal situation. The words made Ethan's jaw tighten until it hurt, as if grief was an inconvenience, as if waking up every night to the sound of a baby crying in his head was a choice. I'll be there, he said. No emotion, just ice. He hung up before the man could reply. Silence rushed back in, wrapping around him like an old coat. His gaze drifted without permission, down, past the glass rail, past the perfect tiles, to a lower window, the servants' corridor. There, a flash of faded stars on a cheap blanket. His chest clenched. Not again. He closed his eyes, but closing his eyes was a mistake, because behind his eyelids, the past waited. Smoke, sirens, his wife's screams, a tiny crib surrounded by flames, a baby's coughing turning into silence. He opened his eyes fast, breath shallow. I said no children in this house, he thought, anger covering pain like a thin sheet. I made that rule for a reason. He stared at the window again, at the shadow moving behind it, at the shape of a small crib, barely visible. His mood darkened. He would call the house manager. The rule would be enforced. The maid could work or she could be a mother, but not both under his roof. Downstairs, Anna paused mid-scrub, a shiver crawling up her spine. It felt like someone had just made a decision about her life, someone she would never be allowed to argue with. Focus, Anna, she scolded herself. Floor, stove, shelves. Don't think. Thinking hurts. Still, her mind wouldn't shut up. What if they fire me because of Lily? What if Mr. Morello complains? What if today is the day everything collapses? Her eyes burned, but she forced the tears back. Tears didn't pay for formula. Tears didn't pay rent. Time passed in long, heavy minutes. The house stayed quiet, too quiet, the kind of quiet that made poor people nervous. Every 30 minutes, she sneaked back to the laundry room. Every time, Lily lay there wide awake, calm, watching the flickering lights, listening to distant footsteps. Those eyes, deep, searching, old almost. You see more than you should, don't you? Anna thought. You feel when I'm scared, when I'm lying, when I say everything will be okay and it's not. She leaned over and kissed the baby's forehead again. Lily's gaze shifted, to the doorway, to a shadow that hadn't been there a second before. Anna's heart stopped. A tall figure filled the entrance. Dark suit, cold posture, eyes like winter. For the first time, Ethan Morello stood in the cheap, cramped laundry room, not passing by, not by accident. He was there, looking, not at the machines, not at the shelves, at the baby. Anna straightened so fast her back hurt. Her hands twisted in the hem of her shirt, wringing invisible water. Sir, I'm sorry. I was just checking on her, she stammered, words tripping over fear. She doesn't cry, she doesn't bother anyone. I swear I'll take her out if… Quiet, he said softly, not loud, but firm enough to cut the air. His eyes were still on the baby. For a long, suspended moment, the three of them stayed frozen in that small room. Poor maid, silent baby, broken millionaire. Lily stared back at him. big dark eyes meeting his haunted ones. In that gaze, something shifted. Not in the room, in him. He felt it like a crack in a wall he had spent years building brick by brick. His throat tightened. His fingers curled into fists. Memories surged, threatening to drown him. Don't, he begged himself silently. Don't feel, don't remember. Not here, not now. But then Lily did something she had never done for anyone. Her lips trembled. Her eyes softened. Slowly, like the sun rising after a storm, the poor maid's baby smiled at the millionaire. The room forgot how to breathe. The hum of the washing machines faded. The distant ticking of the hallway clock vanished. It was just him and the baby's smile hanging in the air like something forbidden. Ethan's spine locked. His eyes, always so controlled, widened a fraction. It was barely visible, but inside, it felt like a crack splitting right through his ribcage. Lily's tiny lips curved higher. Not a random twitch, not gas, a real smile. Full, pure. Her eyes crinkled, dark and bright at the same time, as if she recognized him, as if she had been waiting for him. A soft sound escaped her, something between a sigh and a tiny laugh. Her tiny hand flexed out of the blanket, fingers opening, reaching. Anna's breath hitched. She had watched that face for months, through fevers, through hunger, through restless nights. Not once had her daughter smiled. Her knees went weak. Her hand flew to her mouth. "Lily," she whispered, voice shaking. You're smiling." Tears flooded her eyes so fast she couldn't stop them. But the smile was not for her. It was for him, for the man towering in the doorway, still as marble, eyes burning with something she did not understand. Inside Ethan, time folded. For a second, it wasn't this room. It wasn't this baby. It was another crib, soft white blankets, a chubby hand grabbing his finger, a giggle, his wife laughing from the kitchen. "She's got your serious eyes, Ethan. Just wait until she smiles at you." Fire, smoke, sirens. His chest crushed as if invisible fingers were squeezing his heart. He tasted metal. His throat burned. He could feel the exact moment he had failed, when he had been too late, when his money, his power, his name, none of it could pull his daughter from the flames. "Stop," he ordered himself silently. "You buried this. You buried her. You buried that man." But this baby was smiling like she knew, like she forgave him for something he had never told anyone. He took a step closer before he realized he had moved. Anna stiffened, instinct screaming, "Protect, shield, hide." She angled her body between him and the crib, even as her heart begged him silently, "Don't take this away. Don't punish us for one smile. Move," he said quietly. Not harsh, not loud, just inevitable. Her feet obeyed before her mind did. She stepped aside, eyes on the floor. Her fingers shook so hard she had to press them into her palms. "They're going to fire me." Her thoughts raced. "This is it? I should have left her with that horrible neighbor. I should have." He stopped beside the crib. The scent of cheap baby powder mingled with the sharp, spotless cleanliness of the house. Lily watched him, completely unafraid. Her smile softened, then returned, smaller this time, as if it was just for him. Ethan's hand, steady enough to sign contracts worth millions, trembled as it hovered over the crib. He didn't touch her. He couldn't. There was a line inside him, a line that said, "If you feel this, you will break." Still, he could feel the warmth radiating from her tiny body. "Why is she in my house?" he asked finally, voice strained. Anna swallowed. I don't have anyone to leave her with, sir," she confessed, the truth spilling out. "It was either bring her or lose the job. She doesn't cry. She doesn't disturb anyone. She never smiles, not ever, until..." She dared a glance up. "Until now." His eyes flicked to her, sharp. There was accusation in that glare, but also something else. Fear. "She doesn't smile," he repeated, as if testing the words. Anna shook her head, tears clinging to her lashes. "Never. The doctors say she's healthy, but she just looks like she doesn't trust the world enough to be happy yet." His gaze dropped back to Lily. The baby cooed softly, tiny fingers reaching as if she wanted to grab his tie, his shirt, his soul. "Why me?" The thought came uninvited, bitter. Why would she smile at me of all people? He stepped back abruptly, as if he'd touched an exposed wire. The empty space between them rushed cold. "The rule stands," he said, erecting the walls around his voice again. "No children in the main areas of the house. It's a liability." Anna's heart plummeted. She gripped the crib so hard her knuckles went white. "Please, sir," she begged, voice cracking. "I'll keep her hidden. I'll work twice as fast. His eyes flickered. For a second, empathy flashed there, raw and almost painful. Then it disappeared. "You need the job?" he asked. "Yes," she answered without hesitation. "More than anything." Lily's little hand caught the edge of his sleeve. His body froze. The contact was barely there. A brush of tiny fingers against expensive fabric, but it felt like an earthquake under his skin. Something loosening, something shifting. He should have pulled away. He didn't. For one impossible second, he let himself feel it. Soft, innocent, trusting. A baby who had no idea how dangerous it was to touch a man made of broken glass. His voice, when it came, was rougher. "Keep her out of sight," he muttered. "If the board hears I have distractions here." He didn't finish. Anna nodded quickly, hope and fear tangling inside her. "Thank you, sir, I swear. I'll be careful. I promise." He pulled his sleeve free gently and turned to go. At the door, something made him look back. Lily's eyes followed him. The smile had faded, but the warmth remained, as if she was memorizing him, as if she had decided something about him. He walked away faster than he needed to. Anna sank onto a plastic chair the moment he was gone. Her legs wouldn't hold her. Her heart pounded so hard she could feel it in her fingertips. "You smiled," she whispered to Lily, laughing and sobbing at the same time. "You really smiled, but why not for me? Why only for him?" The question burned. It wasn't jealousy exactly. It was something deeper, a wound. She loved her daughter with everything she had, and yet the first real sign of joy had been offered to a stranger, a man who didn't even want children in his house. She wiped her eyes with the back of her hand and leaned over the crib. "Did you see something in him?" she wondered silently. "Something I can't see. Are you trying to tell me something, my angel?" Lily blinked slowly, eyes heavy and content like she'd just done something important. Then, exhausted by her own miracle, she drifted to sleep. The rest of the morning passed in a daze. Anna moved like a ghost through the corridors, scrubbing, dusting, cleaning, but her mind replayed the same 3 seconds over and over. Lily's smile, Ethan's face, the way his eyes had softened before he killed the emotion. In the kitchen, the cook leaned on the counter, gossip simmering hotter than the soup. "Did you hear?" she whispered to the other maid. "Mr. Morello went into the laundry room. Himself." "The laundry room?" the other maid gasped. "Since when does he even know that door exists?" Their eyes slid to Anna as she passed with a stack of folded towels. "What did you do?" the cook asked, half curious, half accusing. "He looked strange when he came back, like he'd seen a ghost." Anna forced a tiny smile. "I just clean," she said. "That's all I do." Inside, she held the secret tightly to her chest, the way mothers hold miracles. If she told them that the poor maid's silent baby had smiled at the millionaire, they'd never believe her. Upstairs, Ethan shut himself in his office. He closed the curtains, but a blade of light still cut across his desk, highlighting the untouched glass of whiskey. He stared at it. He didn't drink during the day, a rule he had made after the fire, when he'd tried to drown in bottles and discovered grief could swim. Yet his hand reached for the glass now, not to drink, just to hold something solid. The cool surface grounded him as his mind churned. "She doesn't smile," he repeated Anna's words in his head. Until now, he could still see Lily's eyes, the way they had reflected him. Not his money, not his mistakes, just him. Like he existed outside of the headlines, outside of the tragedy, outside of the man he had become to survive. "This is ridiculous," he snapped at himself. "She's a baby. Babies smile. It means nothing." But his chest didn't believe him. He stood abruptly and strode down the hall. His feet knew where they were going before he did. Not to the boardroom, not to the gym, to the small, heavily monitored room near the security office. The guard straightened when he entered. "Mr. Morello," he said, startled. "Is there a problem?" "Pull the footage from the laundry room," Ethan ordered. "From 10 minutes ago." The guard hesitated. "The laundry room, sir?" Ethan's gaze sharpened dangerously. "Do I need to repeat myself?" No, sir." The guard's fingers flew over the keyboard. Screens flickered. Cameras cycled. Then there it was. A grainy black and white image of Anna and the crib, of Lily shifting under the star-patterned blanket. "Rewind," Ethan said. They watched the moment again. Tiny chest rising and falling, his figure appearing at the door, the baby's eyes lifting to his, the smile blooming slow and bright. It looked even more impossible on the screen. "Zoom in," he said softly. The guard obeyed. Lily's face filled the monitor now. That small, perfect smile, the curve of her lips, the light in her eyes. His throat burned. He lifted a hand almost unconsciously, and his fingertips brushed the edge of the screen. Cold glass met warm skin. It wasn't real contact, but his heart didn't know the difference. For a second, his reflection overlapped with Lily's tiny features, his haunted eyes, her hopeful ones. "Don't erase this," Ethan said, stepping back. "Not this feed, not this hour, ever." "Yes, sir." He left. The image burned into him more deeply than any spreadsheet or stock chart or contract had ever been. Downstairs, the sky darkened. Thick clouds rolled in over the city, heavy and impatient. By late afternoon, rain slammed against the windows, turning the view into a blur of silver and gray. Anna checked her phone at the back door and groaned softly. Bus lines suspended, flooding in the lower neighborhoods. Delays, cancellations. Of course. She glanced at Lily sleeping in the crib, tiny chest rising and falling in rhythm with the pounding rain. "How am I going to get you home?" she thought, anxiety mixing with exhaustion. "I can't walk all that way with you in this storm." The house manager appeared in the doorway. "Looks like most of the staff will stay the night in the servant quarters," she said briskly. "Roads are bad. You can take one of the extra beds." Anna nodded gratefully. "Thank you. It wasn't ideal, but it was safe. And for Lily, safe was everything." By nightfall, the mansion felt different, less like a museum, more like a ship trapped in a storm. Thunder rolled overhead, lightning flashed, painting the corridors in brief, violent light. In the laundry room, a drip started near the window, then another, then another. The old pipe couldn't handle the pressure. Water traced a thin line down the wall, inching closer to the crib. Anna hurried to move it, but the room was cramped, the outlets dangerously close. Her heart raced. "No, no, no." As she lifted Lily into her arms, the power flickered, the machine stuttered, the lights went out. For a moment, the only sound was the storm and Lily's soft, confused whimper. Not a cry, not yet, but a tremor. In the dark hallway outside, Ethan walked alone, phone pressed to his ear. The chairman's voice droned on about numbers, deals, optics. Ethan barely heard him. His attention was drawn to a new sound, a tiny, scared sound, like a memory. His feet stopped on their own. That small whimper cut through him more sharply than any thunder. Without thinking, he ended the call and followed it, down the stairs, past the kitchen, toward the laundry room. He opened the door just as lightning flashed again, illuminating the scene. Anna, clutching Lily tightly, standing between the crib and the spreading water, her eyes huge in the dark. "What are you doing?" he demanded, more harshly than he intended. She jumped. Sir, the leak. I didn't want her near the outlets. I was just..." Another thunderclap shook the house. Lily flinched against her chest, fingers digging into Anna's shirt. A tiny whine escaped her. For the first time, she looked afraid. Ethan's gaze darted to the wet floor, the tangled cords, the flickering emergency light, and then to the baby's trembling lip. Something primal surged through him. "This room isn't safe," he said, decisive. "Bring her." Anna blinked. "Bring her where?" "To one of the guest rooms," he answered, already turning. "The ones on the inner hallway. No windows, no leaks." Her mind scrambled. Guest rooms. Those beds cost more than my entire life, she thought wildly. He wants me to put my daughter there. "Sir, I can't," she protested weakly, clutching Lily closer. "Those rooms are not for..." He stopped and faced her fully. For the first time, she saw not just a cold millionaire, but a man one step away from losing control of something inside himself. "It's not a request," he said quietly. "She stays safe, understood?" The words hit her like a physical force. Not the baby, not it. Anna swallowed hard and nodded. Understood. She followed him through the dark corridor, the emergency lights painting everything in soft blue. Lily's head rested against her shoulder, listening to the steady rhythm of her mother's heart and the anxious silence of the man walking ahead. He opened the door to a guest room she had only ever seen when cleaning. Warm beige walls, a huge bed with thick, soft blankets, heavy curtains blocking the storm, a faint smell of vanilla and fresh linen. Anna stood in the doorway, feeling like she'd stepped into another universe. "Put her on the bed," Ethan said, gesturing. "You can stay with her. When the storm passes, you can return to your quarters." Her fingers trembled as she laid Lily down on the edge of the massive mattress, guarding her with her own body. The baby's tiny form seemed even smaller against the sea of white sheets. Lily blinked, eyes wide, taking in the new textures, the softness beneath her, the gentle shadows, the low rumble of thunder far away now. Ethan lingered in the doorway, one hand on the frame, as if ready to run or to stay, torn between both. Lily's gaze found him. He watched, unable to look away, as her expression shifted from wary to curious. Then, to his absolute disbelief, her lips curled again. Another smile. This one was different. Not surprised, not accidental. A choice. As if she were saying, "You brought me here. You protected me. I see you." A tiny sound bubbled from her throat, almost a laugh. The poor maid held her breath. The millionaire's heart stuttered. The baby, who never smiled at anyone, had just smiled at him twice in one day. And somewhere, deep inside Ethan Morello, the first fragile thread of change pulled loose. The storm battered the mansion, but inside the guest room, a smaller storm was quietly rising, one made of fear, tenderness, and the kind of tension that changes lives. Anna sat on the edge of the massive bed, arms wrapped protectively around Lily. Her heart still raced from everything that had happened: the darkness, the flood, the unexpected rescue, and, more confusing than anything, the look in Ethan's eyes when Lily smiled at him again. She kept glancing toward the doorway, where he lingered as if tethered by something he didn't understand. He wasn't looking at her. He was looking at the baby in her lap, looking like a man staring at a ghost only he could see. "Why do you look at her like that?" Anna wondered. "What do you see?" A sharp knock shattered the fragile quiet. Ethan stiffened instantly. His mask slammed back into place. "Who is it?" he barked. "Sir," came a voice dripping with arrogance. "It's Damon. Open up." Anna felt her stomach twist. She knew that voice. Everybody in the mansion did. Damon Morello, Ethan's younger brother, the charming, poisonous shadow of the Morello family. Before Ethan could answer, the door pushed open. Damon strode inside without permission, shaking rain from his expensive coat, eyes flicking around with mock curiosity. "Well, well," he smirked. "What do we have here? A maid, a baby, and my big brother, hiding in a guest room like a guilty teenager." Anna immediately stood, body shielding Lily. Her instincts screamed danger. Lily sensed it too. Her small fingers tightened around Anna's shirt. Ethan's expression darkened. "Get out." But Damon only raised an eyebrow. "Relax. I just came to tell you the board is furious. They want answers, and then I find this." His gaze slid to Anna, then the baby, then back to Ethan with a cruel grin. "You always said children had no place in this house. Changed your mind." "It's not what you think," Ethan muttered, voice tight. Damon's smirk widened. "Oh, I think it's exactly what it looks like. A scandal waiting to happen. A maid, a baby, a grieving widower with a past full of tragedy." He clicked his tongue. "The press will eat you alive." Anna flinched. Lily whimpered softly. Not a cry, just confusion, discomfort, and Damon noticed. His eyes narrowed, calculating. "Strange. That baby. She looks at you like she knows you." Ethan's jaw clenched. "Leave her out of this." "Oh," Damon taunted. "Touchy now. Are we?" He took a step toward the bed. Too close. Too fast. Anna gasped and backed away, clutching Lily to her chest. Her heart pounded so violently she felt dizzy. Damon didn't stop. Ethan did. He moved in front of them so quickly it stole the air from the room. 1 second Damon was advancing. The next, Ethan's hand was on his chest, shoving him back. "Don't go near them." His voice wasn't loud, but it was lethal. Damon stumbled, eyes wide for a moment, before he laughed. "So that's how it is." He straightened his jacket. "You know the board won't accept this. They already question your stability. They think you're too broken to lead." Ethan's fists tightened until his knuckles turned white. Damon leaned in close and whispering sharply, "If they find out you have a baby living under your roof, you'll lose everything. And maybe," he glanced toward Lily again, "maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing." The implication sliced through Anna's heart like a blade. Lose everything. Because of us. Ethan's breathing turned jagged. "Get out," Damon smiled, victorious. "Oh, I'm going. But this conversation isn't over." He flicked his gaze at Anna with disdain. "Good luck, sweetheart. You're in far deeper than you realize." Then he left, the door clicking shut behind him like a trigger being pulled. Silence. Heavy. Suffocating. Anna sank onto the bed, trembling. "Sir, I'm sorry," she whispered. "I never meant to cause trouble. If I need to quit..." "No." The word came fast, harsh. Ethan turned toward her, eyes burning with something fierce. "You're not quitting, but your brother..." "My brother," Ethan snapped, "doesn't decide anything in this house." Lily whimpered again, unsettled by the tension. Her small fingers brushed Ethan's sleeve, the second time that day. Both adults froze. She wasn't smiling this time. She wasn't curious. She was sad, worried, and somehow aware. Ethan's chest tightened painfully. He knelt beside the bed, almost without realizing it, and gently touched Lily's tiny hand. Instant calm washed over her. Anna watched with stunned awe. She feels your emotions," she whispered. "I think she does." He swallowed hard. "That's impossible." "Then explain it," Anna said softly. He couldn't, because the truth was, Lily's touch anchored him, brought breath back into lungs that had forgotten how to work, quieted the ghosts that howled in his memories. Outside, thunder crashed again. Inside, Ethan closed his eyes. "I never asked for this," he thought bitterly. "I don't deserve this. I don't deserve..." Her smile. But Lily's fingers curled around his. Small, warm, forgiving. Anna watched, heart aching. "Sir," she whispered, "I know I'm nothing in your world, but please don't blame her. She's just a baby." His eyes opened. They were not cold now, not distant, but wounded. "I'm not angry at her," he murmured. "I'm angry at myself." Anna's breath caught. She didn't understand. Not fully, but she could see the truth in his face, the kind of pain that doesn't fade with time. Before she could speak, footsteps echoed down the hall. Heavy, purposeful, someone else. A woman's voice sliced through the quiet. "Ethan, we need to talk." Anna stiffened. Ethan's expression shuddered instantly. The door swung open. A tall, elegant woman with perfect hair and a smile made of poison stepped inside. Victoria Hale, Ethan's ex-fiancée. The press loved her. The staff feared her. Her eyes landed on the scene, Anna on the bed, Lily in her arms, Ethan kneeling close. Her smile vanished. "What?" she whispered, voice trembling with outrage. "Is the meaning of this?" Anna felt ice travel through her veins. Lily squirmed nervously. Ethan rose slowly, like a storm taking shape. Victoria stepped forward, pointing at the baby. "Is that why you called off the engagement? Is that why you disappeared for months? Ethan, tell me right now, whose child is this maid carrying?" Anna gasped, color draining from her face. Ethan inhaled sharply, fury igniting behind his eyes. And Lily, already overwhelmed, let out a tiny, broken cry, her first real cry in days. Anna's heart shattered. "Lily, shh, it's okay, my love." But it wasn't okay. Victoria's accusations, Damon's threats, the board's pressure, Ethan's trauma clawing to the surface. The fragile piece of the day cracked open. Everything was falling apart. Ethan took one step toward Victoria, voice low and dangerous. "You will not speak about them again." But Victoria only scoffed. "Them? Ethan, she's manipulating you. This maid is using that child to get close to you. Can't you see that?" Anna staggered as if slapped. "That's not... I would never... Enough." Ethan's voice thundered. Silence fell. He turned to Anna. His expression softened, but only for her, and for the trembling baby in her arms. "You're safe," he said quietly. "Both of you." But Anna wasn't sure. Not anymore. Because for the first time since arriving at the mansion, she wondered if she was in danger of losing the little stability she had, or gaining something she was never meant to touch. And as Lily cried softly against her chest, the storm outside finally broke the last barrier between them all. The storm howled against the mansion as if trying to warn them of what was about to come. Lightning carved the sky, illuminating the tension in the room. Victoria stood frozen, drenched in disbelief, anger tightening every line of her perfect face. Anna held Lily close, her heart racing so violently she thought it might bruise her ribs. And Ethan looked like a man standing on the edge of a cliff he had sworn never to approach again. Thunder rolled, and Lily flinched, letting out another trembling cry. The second time that night. Ethan's eyes softened immediately. His body moved instinctively toward the sound, like a magnet to something he didn't have the strength to resist. Victoria noticed that, and it ignited something vicious in her chest. "Ethan," she whispered, voice shaking with both fury and disbelief. "Explain. Who is this child?" He opened his mouth, but nothing came out, because even he didn't know why this baby touched his soul in ways he couldn't explain. Victoria stepped closer, eyes narrowing. "You're hiding something. I knew there was more to your disappearance. Tell me right now. Tell me whose baby this is." Anna felt the accusation slice through her. She's not, I would never." "You expect me to believe that?" Victoria snapped. A maid comes into the mansion with a baby, and suddenly, Ethan acts like he's seen a ghost. Anna's cheeks burned with humiliation. Her throat tightened until she could barely breathe. Lily sensed her mother's distress. Her tiny fingers curled into Anna's shirt as if afraid she would disappear. Ethan swallowed hard. "Enough," he muttered, but his voice trembled. "Victoria, leave. Not until you tell me what's going on," she insisted, stepping even closer. Lightning flashed again, illuminating Lily's face, her round cheeks, her serious eyes, her trembling lip, and for the first time Victoria really looked. Not at the blanket, not at the tears, at the baby. Her expression shifted. First confusion, then shock, then recognition. Her hand flew to her mouth. "Oh my God!" Ethan stiffened immediately. "What?" Victoria pointed a trembling finger toward Lily. "That mark, on her collarbone." Anna's breath caught. She looked down. The blanket had slipped just enough to reveal the small, heart-shaped birthmark on Lily's skin. The same one the doctors had told her was rare, unique, special. Victoria's voice broke. "Ethan, she has the same birthmark as—" "Stop." His voice cracked like thunder, but it was too late. The truth had already begun unraveling in the air. Victoria's eyes filled with tears, real ones, something Anna had never imagined possible. "Ethan, she has the same birthmark your daughter had." Silence devoured the room, heavy, absolute, crushing. Anna felt her heart stop mid-beat. His daughter? His daughter? Ethan staggered a step backward, as if the floor had tilted under him. "No," he whispered. "No, that's impossible." But his eyes were already filling with a terror so deep, so raw, Anna felt it pierce her bones. "Let me see," he said, voice barely audible. Anna hesitated, not because she didn't trust him, but because she sensed how fragile he was in this moment. Slowly, with trembling fingers, she lowered the blanket. There it was, the tiny, heart-shaped birthmark, as unmistakable as the storm outside. Ethan's knees buckled, and he sank onto the bed as if gravity had doubled. His hand hovered over the mark but didn't touch it. He couldn't. His breath came out broken. "My daughter, my baby. She had that exact mark. The doctors said it was 1 in a million." Lily stared at him again, calm now, peaceful, and then she gave him a soft, warm smile. Not excitement, not curiosity, recognition. Victoria's voice cracked. "Ethan, is it possible? Could this baby be—" "No," Anna whispered, shaking her head violently. No, please don't say that. I'm not stealing anyone's child. I would never." Ethan lifted a hand gently, stopping her. "Tell me," he whispered. "Where did she come from? Who is her father? Who is her mother?" Anna's throat closed. She had dreaded this moment since the day Lily was born. I don't know," she whispered. I found her at the public hospital." Ethan's head snapped up. Found her. Tears spilled down Anna's cheeks. She was left there, abandoned, wrapped in this faded blanket. No name, no records, nothing. His world tilted. "The blanket." Anna's fingers touched the star-patterned fabric. "Yes, this one," Victoria gasped, stepping back as if struck. "Ethan, wasn't your daughter wearing a star-patterned onesie the day of the—" Ethan's heart shattered in full. "Bring me the DNA kit." he whispered, voice hollow and trembling. Now. The room felt too small for the weight inside it, too full of ghosts, too fragile for the truth clawing its way to the surface. A storm raged outside, but the real storm was happening inside Ethan Morello, in his shaking hands, in his uneven breath, in the way he kept staring at the poor maid's baby, as if she were a miracle he didn't believe he deserved. Victoria returned moments later, holding the DNA kit like it was an explosive. Anna's stomach twisted. Her arms tightened around Lily. This tiny child was her whole world, and now she might lose her. Ethan took the kit, but his hands trembled so violently he nearly dropped it. Anna saw it. Victoria saw it. Lily saw it too, and reached a small, gentle hand toward him. That tiny gesture nearly brought him to his knees. "Anna," Ethan whispered, voice cracking open. "I need your permission." She swallowed hard, heart pounding like a trapped bird. "I don't want to lose her," she whispered. "She's all I have." Her voice broke, and with it, Ethan's heart. He stepped closer, slowly, carefully, as if approaching something holy. "Anna," he murmured, "if she's mine, if she's truly mine, I would never take her from you. I swear it." Shock spread across Anna's face. You wouldn't." He shook his head, tears fighting to rise. "I've already lost one daughter. I won't tear another child away from the only mother she's ever known." Anna's knees weakened. Some of the fear in her chest loosened, but not all. With trembling fingers, she nodded. "Do it." Ethan gently swabbed Lily's cheek. His touch was soft, reverent. Each second felt like a prayer and a punishment. Lily didn't cry, not this time. She stared into his eyes, deep, knowing, unafraid. And Ethan broke, just broke. A sob tore from him before he could stop it. He turned away, but too late. Anna had seen. The man with the iron heart was crying. Victoria stood in the corner, arms wrapped around herself, eyes glistening with a complicated mix of grief, guilt, and something that almost resembled compassion. Even she couldn't deny it. The resemblance, the connection, the inexplicable bond. Ethan sealed the swab, unable to speak. His breath trembled like a collapsing wall. "We'll know soon," he whispered hoarsely. But the truth was already in the air. Heavy, inevitable. Minutes passed. Hours. Time stretched painfully until the storm quieted outside, but not inside him. Finally, the small device in his hand chimed. Anna covered her mouth. Victoria held her breath. Lily blinked, waiting. Ethan's fingers shook as he turned the screen toward him. His blood ran cold, then hot, then cold again. His knees buckled. Anna jumped forward. "Sir? Ethan?" He closed his eyes, and tears slid down his face. "It's her," he whispered. A broken laugh escaped him. "Anna, she's my daughter. She's my baby." Anna's heart stopped. She felt the world tilt, every fear, every hope crashing at once. Lily giggled, a tiny, bright giggle, her third smile that day, and the most powerful one yet. Ethan reached for her, no hesitation this time, and Anna let him. He gathered Lily into his arms for the first time in his life, and when he did, the world finally made sense. He held her against his chest, trembling, sobbing into her tiny shoulder. "Daddy's here," he whispered. "Daddy's here, my angel. I'm so sorry I didn't find you sooner. I'm so sorry." Anna watched, tears streaming down her cheeks, hand covering her trembling mouth. The cold millionaire, the man who never touched anyone, was falling apart in front of her, because of love, because of Lily, because of the past he thought had died with the fire. Victoria turned away quietly, hand pressed to her heart. She knew what this meant. Their past, their future, all of it changed. She swallowed and whispered, "Ethan, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I truly didn't." But Ethan wasn't listening. His world was only Lily now, and the poor maid who had unknowingly saved his daughter's life. Anna took a shaky step closer. He reached out his free hand toward her, not as a boss, not as a millionaire, but as a man stripped of every wall. She placed her hand in his, gently, trembling. Their fingers interlaced as Lily smiled between them, warm and glowing. Thunder rumbled softly in the distance, but inside that room, a broken family was finally being pieced back together. The climax was not destruction, it was rebirth. Messy, painful, beautiful, and now Nothing, absolutely nothing, would ever be the same again. The night slowly surrendered to dawn, yet no one in the mansion dared move. It was as if time itself paused to witness what had just happened, a miracle unfolding in human form, wrapped in a faded star blanket. Ethan still held Lily against his chest, as though letting go, even for a second, would make her vanish. His arms, once rigid with control and distance, now cradled his daughter with a tenderness that broke every wall he'd ever built. Anna stood inches away, her eyes swollen from crying, torn between awe and heartbreak. She had found that baby abandoned. She had fed her, bathed her, loved her through sleepless nights and silent days. And now she had to accept that Lily belonged to a world far from hers. But Lily, sweet, wise little Lily, kept reaching for both of them. Her tiny fingers brushed Anna's cheek, then Ethan's, as if stitching their hearts together with every touch. Ethan finally exhaled, voice trembling with a lifetime of buried agony. She really survived, he whispered, forehead resting gently on Lily's. My baby survived the fire. She lived. His voice broke. He pulled Lily closer, tears sliding freely down his face. Anna swallowed hard. Sir, she hesitated. Ethan, the name felt too intimate, but right. I never wanted to take her from anyone, Anna said softly. I found her alone, wrapped in this blanket. She looked so scared, so quiet. She wouldn't smile, not even once. So I thought, maybe God gave her to me because he knew I needed her as much as she needed me. Ethan looked at her then, really looked, not at her uniform, not at her poverty, at her heart. Anna, he whispered, voice full of something raw and grateful. You saved her. His hand reached out, trembling, touching Anna's arm. You saved my daughter when I couldn't, when I didn't even know she was alive. Her breath hitched. No, she saved me. Every day. For a long moment, they simply stood there, bound by the baby in Ethan's arms and the storm that had changed everything. But the world outside still existed, with its cruelty, its judgments, its hungry cameras, its powerful board members waiting to destroy any weakness. And Ethan knew it. He looked at Anna with a fierce, protective fire now burning in his eyes. They won't take her from us, he said. They won't threaten her. They won't threaten you. Anna blinked. Us, she echoed softly. He nodded. Yes, us. He lifted Lily slightly, like an oath made flesh. I'm not letting you walk out of this house alone. You're the mother she knows, the only one who's ever cared for her, and I won't let this child lose you, not after everything. Anna's knees nearly gave out. But, Ethan, don't say you're just anything. He cut in gently. You're strong. You're brave. You protected my daughter with your whole heart. That makes you more than anyone I've met in years. Her chest tightened, a mixture of awe, fear, and a fragile hope blooming too fast. But the moment was shattered when Victoria stepped forward. Her voice was quiet, unexpectedly gentle. Ethan, he turned to her, wary. She swallowed hard. I'm not staying. Not here. Not now. She met Anna's gaze and didn't look away. You're not my enemy, Anna. I was wrong about you. Anna's breath stilled. Victoria continued, voice wavering. I can see what she means to you, to both of you. And Ethan, I loved you, but not this way. Not enough to reach you where you were broken. Her eyes softened as she looked at Lily. But she can. She already has. A bittersweet smile ghosted across her lips. You deserve a chance to heal. And with that, she left the room, closing a chapter none of them would reopen. The silence she left behind was different, peaceful, possibility-filled. Ethan sat on the bed, Lily still nestled in his arms. He looked up at Anna, his expression stripped of every layer of wealth, power, and fear. I want to rebuild everything, he said. For her, for me, for you. Anna's heart throbbed painfully. Ethan, please, she whispered, tears gathering again. Don't make promises you'll regret. He shook his head. This isn't a promise made out of guilt or confusion. It's a promise I should have made the moment she smiled at me. He reached out and took Anna's hand. Warm, steady, unshakable. I won't survive losing her again, he whispered. And Lily, she doesn't smile for the world. She smiled for me and for you. We're her world, Anna, and she's ours. A sob escaped her lips. She couldn't stop it. Ethan pulled her closer, gently, unsure, but wanting to try. Anna rested her forehead against his shoulder as Lily settled between them, humming her soft baby sound of contentment. 3 broken souls, finally fitting, finally home. The sun rose slowly, golden light spilling across the room like a blessing. Lily caught that light and giggled again. Bright, pure, the sound of a life beginning anew. Ethan kissed the top of her head. Then, softly, he whispered the vow that would define everything from now on. I'll give you both the life you deserve. No more pain, no more fear. I will protect this family with everything I am, until my last breath. Anna closed her eyes, tears falling freely. For the first time in her life, she believed in a future that didn't hurt, a future that felt warm, possible, beautiful. And Lily, the tiny baby who had never smiled for anyone, smiled at her new family, at her mother, at her father, at the life waiting for them outside that room. And now, watching this story, tell me, would you trust a miracle like this if it appeared in your life? What would you have done if the baby smiled only at the cold millionaire? Tell me in the comments.